Hello, Voltron fans, and welcome back to the AFTERBUZZ TV Voltron After Show. We are looking at Season 2, Episodes 5 and 6, Eye of the Storm and the Ark of Taujeer, and we have a very special guest with us. We will see you after the opening, and team, it's time to form Voltron.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I would like to thank Twitter for choosing this opening song in our poll tonight.
Can I chime in on that? Thanks.
Yes,
this is a good choice.
Well done. The other option, for those of you wondering, was Every Breath You Take by The Police, but this is, I think, the better option, Blondie's One Way or Another.
Duh.
And that's because we had an entire episode of Zarkon from Nowhere. That's what it is. The dump. You cannot escape the dumpster fire.
Do you think he hums this to himself, like as the body chorus is like?
No,
I
as they're flying.
yeah.
Like every time they start going into like hyperspeed, he's just like.
Yeah. I mean, people hums the Jaws
people
theme.
in the
No, that's when he's like actually there.
You know, people in the Steven Universe chat right before this were talking about, you know, Zarkon needing to have his own villain song, and I think this is it.
This is good.
I want to hear Neil Kaplan sing this in the Zarkon
Oh
voice.
my God! Someone start that like hashtag Neil Blondie or something. I don't know. Hello. I almost said hello, Zarkon fans. We all are. Let's be real.
Wait. Hello, Voltron.
You don't stop that. That was a different
What's
show.
amazing, on the Steven Universe After Show that literally just happened, instead of saying hello, Steven Universe fans, Katie just goes, hello, Steven Universe.
In my defense, it had been 2 months since we've done the Steven Universe show. We should get this ball rolling.
I like
Katie Cullen's the head.
I'm trying so hard. Oh my God. Welcome back to the Voltron After Show. We are having a grand old time tonight.
We are.
It is Season 2, Episodes 5 and 6. We are looking at the Eye of the Storm and the Ark of Taujeer. With me is our Red Lion, Emma Fyffe.
That's me. I'm Emma Fyffe. That's my name. It's also my Twitter handle.
Our Blue Lion, Alexis Torres.
Hey guys, you can find me all over social media at atorres890. That's ATORRES890.
Green Lion, Megan Salinas.
Hey guys, you can tweet at me at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin.
That's genius.
That's so good.
I'm just going to segue right to our
My friend Heather in high school is a genius.
Heather, you're a genius. You
our
can watch
Canon
it.
Green Lion and the voice of Pidge, Bex Taylor-Klaus.
I'm the other green lion in this room.
Yes.
The one and only, please. Thank you for joining us tonight.
My pleasure. It's nice to be here.
And I am Black Lion Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. We have the live chat up. We have our hashtag ABTV Voltron. If you have anything to say, if you have funny commentary, if you have questions for our wonderful guests, throw them in the hashtag, throw them in the live chat. You may well get a shout out. I see someone in the hashtag has something to say. What do you got, Alexis?
It just says hashtag Black Lion host first world problems. I thought it was adorable.
I think it's just Black Lion problems.
Yeah.
I identify with Shiro trying to get you people to work.
What are you talking about? Can't tell me what to do, Space Dad. Space Mom.
Dude, that has
Space
quickly
parents.
become canon.
Space
Like,
Dad.
he
Oh,
is
yeah.
Space
Did you
Dad.
see Josh's
He
shirt?
came in here with a shirt
Yes.
that said number one Space
So I
Dad.
have
Dude,
to tell you guys.
he has everything. Number one Space Dad, like everything.
Yeah,
amazing.
I have to tell you guys today, though, someone tweeted a fan art of Kanan Jarrus from Star Wars Rebels at Freddie Prinze Jr. with the just the words Space Dad. And Freddie Prinze Jr. retweeted it with hashtag Space Dad. So I tweeted at Josh being like, Josh,
Take back your territory, Josh.
What is happening?
As far as responsible adulthood goes, Shiro is actually probably the better dad.
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
No contest.
You're not biased. 3 of the 4 of us are also on the Star Wars Rebels panel, so that's like,
The problem is that Shiro doesn't have a Hera. I mean, I guess Princess Allura, but
come
like
on,
he doesn't
yeah.
have a Hera to kind of like.
He also finds her slightly alluring.
Birth of the night. Yes.
hashtag Shalora. And now
gonna
all
be
of
a
the
long
shippers are
after
going to be
show.
in our comments going, oh God, they ship Shalora. Everyone knows Sheath is canon. No, she's not canon. Chance is canon. And then people are going to wonder how I know all of these ship names.
How don't you?
Tumblr.
Can we just, for a quick second, talk about Clance? because I just like watching when all the Clance shippers blow up. It's my favorite
amazing.
thing.
Well, we
Chaos.
I mean,
Yay.
we had Jeremy in for the first couple episodes this time around, and like the entire chat was just like losing their minds, and I was like, chat, I need to remind you guys that Jeremy does not write the show, so he has no control over whether or not your Clance dreams come true.
Absolutely not.
However, I have to say that the writers of this show, much like the writers of many a sports anime, they know exactly what they're doing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like they give you just enough to like keep those fandoms going.
What cracks me up is like fans this season are like, oh, they played for what we wanted. They paid attention to what we were saying about season 1. I'm like, guys, we wrote it.
Forever ago. Yeah.
You can always tell who kind of knows how the animation pipeline works and who
Yes.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Because the people who were like, yeah, they totally
Yes.
animated our ships. They wrote that 3 years ago
Exactly.
and voiced it last year.
Though I do have to say,
friends.
I did think it was very interesting. Jeremy was telling us that you actually do a little bit of ADR work for the efforts on
Yes,
this show, which I
so
think is
much
so
of that.
cool.
Guys, Steven is so good at it.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, all of them are really good at it because they know what they're doing.
Right.
But Steven is so good at it. Like, I've watched him do just a run of effort work, and I'm just like, following. So good.
Like he walks out of the booth 10 minutes later, I just finished the entire season.
That's
You're like, I'm gonna be here for 6 days.
yeah, that's the one.
I love it. Just let's take a breath.
I think we're already, Space Dad's recalibrating. Give me a minute. So Zarkon from nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, I really like that these 2 episodes, first of all, go really well together.
They do.
And also show just how well this show is suited to the Netflix format.
Yes.
Because we come right after the events of last week, and then we also have, like, we're able to show the consequences of, like, hey, being on missions all the time, you know, causes a lot of wear and tear on our protagonists.
Exhausted Hunk is my favorite.
Because he makes cookies when he's tired. That is
Terrible,
a friend you need to have.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually, for me, when they were all, you know, sort of showing the wear and tear of having been working kind of nonstop, for me, the person I related to the most was actually Pidge. When she's like, I'm so tired, like my brain has stopped working, because that is how I feel basically all of the time.
If anyone's ever seen me at like 11 o'clock at night, people who play Overwatch with me late at night, I'm like, they're coming up the left side, and everyone's like, you mean the right side? That one! I'm really bad at this.
The one that makes an L.
See, I would blame it on exhaustion, but I totally have a pair of shoes that have like L and R on the toes, and it wasn't exhaustion. If we're being real.
Yeah.
I feel so much better about my own life now because I do have to do the thing.
Totally. I mean, that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
For everyone who's listening on iTunes, we are making the L's with our hands. Just like, yep. That's why it is. We need to go right. Okay.
It's the one that doesn't make an L.
In my family, it's always, you need to go right. No, other right.
Yep.
There is no my, your, other right. Speaking of my, your, other right, we had an Emperor's New Groove moment in this episode.
It's my favorite.
So good.
You're pushing too hard. You're not pushing hard enough. Bow chicka.
All I'm saying, again,
elevator
guys,
You broke me.
It's not
Welcome to the show.
It's not me. For those of you listening to
I
the
say
podcast.
something terrible and then it breaks Alexis. Like, I'll bring in a Tumblr theory that's all about, like, Shiro's arm is actually draining him of quintessence or something, and she'll kind of lie on the ground crying for a while.
Yeah,
So I broke you first.
all right.
I'm so happy right now.
For our listeners, you should describe what happened. So through the power of your imaginations, imagine Bex curled up in a ball on our
On the
guest
sofa.
couch. That's what Katie did just now.
Well, Doc, it all started about an hour ago.
all I'm going to say about that theme, this is going back to my thing about the writers know exactly what they're doing. You know, they could have been doing anything in that scene, but nope, they were going to the pool. So
Yeah, so they're in
they
swim
were half
trunks,
naked.
and
It was fine.
He's determined to keep that towel on his head.
Seriously, it was impressive.
I just didn't understand why it had to be there. I was like, come on, buddy. I understand that, you know, you gotta be different, but just
He
take off
knows
the
that his
towel.
hair just sets Lance
That's
off.
true.
It just wasn't
Yeah,
the
just
right time.
upset.
I can't keep a full-size bath towel on my head. I don't know how he managed the hand towel.
Red line magic. I don't know.
Oh, it's all the hair.
MIT
It's
just
the power. Stuck to all his hair
it's the power of the space mullet. You know?
on a shirt.
The powers of the space mullet are
space
many
mullet.
and varied.
I don't know about you guys, but like I grew up swimming. Like my grandparents had a pool. I was on the swim team when I was in high school.
You would have been able to figure out that pool.
Well, no, I'm saying that if I got down to a pool and the pool was on the ceiling, I would have been livid. I would have been like, that's not how that works.
I love that they worked so hard for it, and they finally get down there and it's stupid Altean pool.
Yeah.
And then they wind up in it for half a second during an
I
attack.
have
and
I don't
then
think they
spits
liked
them
it
out.
very
Best
much.
half second. I don't know.
I have so many questions about Altean culture just based on their pool.
Also,
I
Katie,
want them to explain that. Like, I will ask Joaquin when I go next time. Like,
Yeah, you're like,
I need to know.
Why does the pool only fit your ankles?
And like,
Why
I
is
know
it
that they
upside
can
down?
change their height and stuff. And fans can change, but can they change
yeah.
that much? And wouldn't I don't get
That's
it.
like half your weight. I don't
yeah,
know.
Chica Knight in the chat says Keith and the stupid Altean pool almost killed me.
It almost killed him, too.
Catherine Nguyen commented on those great animated abs.
abs.
And yeah.
Amazing.
Last week we talked about
and
whose job
also-
was it to undress Shiro, and then this week they undressed themselves.
Yeah,
So,
and
hey,
then
I
also, Jet and James in the chat both point out that you guys are crushing it. Anyone who's playing the drinking game at home, you're
Oh God!
Wait, what's the drinking game for this show?
God,
I gotta know.
it's for our after shows specifically.
No, I know. But
Yeah, so
what's
Katie's
the
offense
drinking
is
game?
so
Mark,
far.
can you do me a favor and pull that up? I know it was from an email last Sunday.
Yeah.
Pulling it up.
You are a wonderful
Mark,
man. So Mark is going
God.
to
So
put that back
Katie's,
up there.
Katie's offenses thus far have been
My offenses.
I'm excited for this.
have been breaking somebody and also mentioning Tumblr.
2 shots.
Oh my God! That's 2 shots. And we're not even all the way in yet.
Responsibly.
We recommend that you drink
responsibly.
like
drink
Bud
responsibly.
Light, which is
Or
98%
just, go to
water.
the hospital
Or just
and
actual
die.
water.
That's what I usually tell people to do. I'm like, I'm not holding back. Have fun.
Please drink
So
responsibly. We need you all to come back and watch next week's after show as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
the hangover person. No, I'm just kidding. Just messing with you.
So let's get Altean hangover cure.
But anyway.
God.
Upside down pools. I don't know.
Honestly, I feel like Karan has an Altean hangover cure, but I don't want to try it.
I know.
Maybe it's a slippery.
Man, I actually would love it if that was a plot line on the next Voltron.
Altean hangover cure.
Again, lots of questions about Altean culture. Now, one of which is, what kind of drinks do they have? Because their
we
programs.
got the hair tonic stuff.
No,
I
but
cannot
like
remember what it's called.
drinks, like
Yeah, that's what
alcoholic
that
variety.
was.
But
Like grown-up drinks.
things that aren't terrible for you.
If you're listening on
I see
iTunes.
Oh,
Mark's
an
got
after
the
show for a kid's show.
Mark's got the drinking
makes me
game.
so happy.
Yeah.
Go
Mark
ahead.
has
If
the
you'd like,
drinking game
I
up.
can read off the rules.
Yeah, that's hard to
do
see.
it.
For
Real
our
quick.
audio listeners, it's for those brave enough to take on this challenge. Take a drink every time Avatar: The Last Airbender or The Legend of
Oh
Korra
yeah, that
is
was another one that was an Avatar reference was made. So
Oh, yeah.
2, Katie gives her crew, mostly Alexis, nightmare fuel from her Tumblr escapades. 3, a pun is dropped that upsets Megan to a level of walking off the
Oh my
set.
God, that's
Or the Galra are referenced alongside their symbol, a dumpster fire.
We did that already too.
Oh,
We have to escape the dumpster fire.
You have to explain that to Bex. She doesn't know what that is.
I feel
we got
like
2
it's
more rules.
I'm so
self-explanatory.
intrigued. Wait, rules first,
We have
then.
2 more rules. 5, the shipping community for Voltron gets a shout out. And
Oh,
6,
I
Katie
ruined
says,
that.
I'm bonding with you. So first of all, I'd like to apologize to all of our listeners that we lost tonight.
So if they're not
This is our
smashed,
yellow lion, Mark Donica, who is wonderful.
Reporting in from the console.
And this was made by Jeffrey on Twitter, who is at 33Jet, J-E-T-T. So follow him, let him know how drunk you are. Please drink responsibly for the love of God.
Responsibly.
And we've decided that the Galra Empire is a dumpster fire.
yes.
Oh my
That
God,
just,
I'm so
it
excited.
is.
And that's just what we call it now. That's amazing.
It is. You cannot escape the dumpster
So there are
fire.
a few shots happening right now.
Many.
All of them.
Many.
I'm so sorry.
Many and freaks.
Not
So we should
Sorry, not sorry.
actually
For
talk
sure.
about this episode.
Sorry. Yes. I'm having a case of the slipperies.
I feel like that's like Altean shingles.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I actually appreciate that on Altea. Clearly, men and women alike basically have to go through menopause.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
Oh my God, though, that Karan shimmy was just
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
this entire episode was just an extended hot flash for
Yes.
it. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I want this so much.
For menopause, those you stop leaking, and for these you start. So
No, but it's like getting a hot flash.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You're leaking elsewhere. It's fine.
I've got the
Everything's
Fyffes.
fine.
No, I think that's like an absurd case of the vapors.
Sorry, Mom.
We love you, Mom.
Is your mom watching this?
But,
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
My
My mom watches everything I do.
My parents do occasionally and make sure that they tell me that they have no idea what I'm talking about, but I think I did a great job.
my parents occasionally watch what I do. My mom straight up stalks my Instagram. She
Yeah.
refuses to get social media, but she'll look at my Instagram.
Oh yeah, my mom has an Instagram and a Twitter mostly to stalk me. Also, Chica Knight in chat says, I love that everyone agrees that this was Karan's Yuri on Ice episode.
Oh my God! Yes.
Does that count as a Tumblr reference?
Oh god.
What's that?
Does that count as a Tumblr reference?
I mean,
because
listen,
of how much
I will
Tumblr
tell you,
loves
I
Yuri
was
on
going to
Ice.
say, I will tell you this. I am not a Tumblr person, but Yuri on Ice brought me back to Tumblr simply for all the beautiful fan art, so...
Oh, Tumblr
works.
will not shut the heck up about Yuri on
That's
Ice,
what
let's
I'm
be real.
saying.
Yeah.
I feel like Yuri on Ice is a Tumblr reference.
Yeah,
No, straight up.
Getting back into the episode.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's so bad.
It's not your fault, it's all of us.
I'm going to say one thing critically. I loved these episodes, and like I said, I think these ones in particular demonstrate, again, why Netflix is
Right.
the perfect format for this show. I will say, though, I'm like, that is super convenient that all of these things just happen to align up perfectly. This is a nitpick.
I actually
Space
liked
logic.
that they did.
Yeah, no,
But hashtag Voltron Science.
Yeah,
I actually liked that they did.
Well,
is the thing.
I had a teacher when I was in college who said coincidences, like using coincidences to like move the plot along isn't good writing. And you know, take that for what it is. You know, everybody has their own opinions about the best ways to move a story forward, but it's always something I've kept in the back of my mind. So when I see it, I have to remind myself, no, sometimes it's okay.
But this is the thing, though, is there was a lot of effort that went into those coincidences, which is why it didn't bother me. For example, the reason that Pidge knew that, oh, wait, actually, I think we have some of that substance on board is because she had spent the time to try to learn to speak Altean.
She put in the effort.
Yeah.
And so it made sense to me. Like I liked that she had actually it paid off. She like got attacked by a bear and a couple other weird things.
I can't even imagine what
Godzilla.
Altean schools are like.
Really quickly, something that's awesome. The voice of the AI for the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is
You're a
Cree Summer.
holographic Rosetta Stone.
That's the one. Thank you. The voice is Cree Summer, who's also the voice of Hagar.
Doesn't she have
Cree Summer
amazing
does
range?
everything. I
She's
love her.
incredible.
She's
She's just amazing.
I can't keep up sometimes because she does so much.
Right? She's so good.
We need a voice. It's
well,
great.
because
Studio, great.
she
Awesome.
does the voice of Hagar. She did the voice of the AI.
Well, Josh
she does
is the same way though.
Yeah.
Josh and Cree just when they're at a loss for voices, they're like, just one of you, just come here.
Eeny, meeny, miny, you.
Voice on battle. I want it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and she also did the voice for the Balmarin grandmother, and I'm sure she does like just a ton of other
Oh my
voices
God,
that
so
we don't even know
She
that
does
she's
most
doing.
of the computers.
That
really
makes
cool.
sense. That makes sense.
There's a bit part in one of the later episodes where it's like, oh yeah, no, this is the Cree Summer voice that I grew up with. But we'll get there.
But I do agree
Spoiler
with you
alert.
on that. I did love everything else about it, but I thought the glass cookies was a bit of like,
Well, and the second they're glass.
Last time that Hunk has gone cooking with just whatever the hell he can find in the alien space kitchen.
yeah.
And this isn't the
Looks
first.
sort of like sugar to him. It's fine.
And this isn't the first time
And
that
usually it
Pidge has
goes well.
expressed frustration with not being able to read the local moon speak.
Oh,
Yes.
well, I
Local
identify
moon
with
speak.
Hunk because when I was super stressed in college, I was like, I'm going to make pumpkin butterscotch cookies.
I benefited from that.
And my tears will be some of the ingredients.
The salt is coming from that.
But the second he makes those, you're like, well, that's how we're gonna fix all of our lenses.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh well, you know, but that's it. It was never a secret.
Correct. It's not like they were keeping it from you, like surprise
It
twist.
was just like, how are we gonna get here?
And it's not like, oh, this is the replacement we've needed all along. It's like, this is our last ditch stopgap measure, and if this doesn't work, we are literally all going to die.
It's just an
And we might
excuse
all
to
die
animate
anyway.
Krang going.
Well,
Contortionism.
I will say that too. Again, as critical as I can be about like plot devices and things like that, I will say that constantly making the team get by the skin of their teeth does an excellent job of keeping the stakes high at all times.
Oh my gosh, it totally does. And especially because, you know, we're not far off from a point. Actually, it's at the end of this episode that Shiro's like, yeah, we've been running away from them and they've been coming after us, so they're totally not going to expect us to go after them. And I was like, maybe you shouldn't go after them.
Opposite of what you should do.
Yelling at my team and going, opposite, you're so, no! It's so ridiculous.
That came across as more of a, we will turn this around and take the fight to them once we do X, Y, Z.
You know what that is?
Let's survive.
That's a Benedict Arnold turning a retreat into a charge.
Are you saying Shiro's a Benedict Arnold?
No,
We're saying he's a sleeper agent.
Benedict Arnold was actually a hero of the he was a hero of the Revolutionary War before he became a traitor.
That's true.
We're on the Turn After show, so
Yeah.
Turn is coming
We
back
live
soon.
here.
High five for that plug. Nice.
Hey.
Like it. No shameful plugs here.
But yeah, no, there is a going theory that Shiro is a sleeper agent, so.
Whoa. That is dark.
Thank you.
He doesn't know. Like, to be true,
Yeah, sleeper agent. Yeah, no, I know I'm a
See what I'm
sleeper
talking
agent.
about? This is what I have to deal with all the time. My brain is just broken all the time.
Every week, just a table of negativity. I'm sorry, Alexis.
Seriously. Like, I know things go wrong in the Voltron universe, but God.
Yeah.
Oh no, my heart will break. What's
listen.
the one that really broke me? Remember? We were talking about
Oh, we have a solid theory
The
about
one that broke me was Keith, and like when Paige is talking about let's do this for our families, and then it's like he's an orphan, and it's all those things on Tumblr of those going, you know how I feel, why would you say this? And like a slow zoom on Keith's face.
That last episode, he had that moment of, oh God, we're connected to everything. That is the first time you felt connected to someone who wasn't Shiro.
and they immediately made fun of him for it.
No, the one that I broke you with, and you will appreciate this,
I'm
is
sorry.
the whole, okay, well, you know, we've been blowing up all of these Gobra
Oh,
ships.
no.
Who's to say that those ships weren't carrying prisoners? Pidge might have accidentally killed her family.
Oh.
So mad at you.
no, we were lying.
So mad
That
at
was
you
happening,
right
and I was like, oh my god, I still have
See,
the gift.
you didn't break Bex here. You broke Pidge.
She came up with that with her brilliant Black Lion mind.
I don't think they'll go there because this is not that kind of show. We go into full Walking Dead territory, and we've already killed Steve in Walking Dead. We don't need to do it.
We don't need to kill him again. I like him with his face all in one piece and his eyeballs in his sockets.
Yes, thank you.
So the
Spoilers for
Shiro
Walking
Shiro
Dead.
sleeper agent. So Shiro sleeper agent has generated a hashtag in the chat, which
God, I'm
which is
scared.
hashtag Winter Paladin.
No!
Robot arm and everything.
No! Oh, there's been fan art.
This is so refreshing.
Every week.
Can I though?
So our absolute darkest theory, and that we should honestly save it for predictions because we do need to talk about these episodes. But our darkest theory, just since you seem to be enjoying all
my
of our
God,
dark
yes.
theories so much, darkest
The
theory
darker the better, man.
is that he's a sleeper cell agent. He's going to be activated at some point. They'll have to, you know, that's when we'll get the kind of classic pilot setup that we know from the original
Show.
and they'll save him, and then he will almost immediately after being saved
Make the heroic
sacrifice and die anyway. And that is our I think darkest theory.
Yep.
This is the
sad
darkest
face.
Voltron timeline.
Darkest
That
Wait,
is that a community reference?
You win everything.
God, I love Abed.
You did say Hunk was your favorite. What up?
You're right. I was, it's spot on.
Not gonna lie, it's fun when we do mic checks every now and then. Troy and Abed in the morning.
Anyway, need to talk about these episodes.
I don't know if I can make it.
I'm not a good influence.
I will say this was my This was my little, like, gripe with this episode. Also, a thing that I thought was really interesting was the fact that, okay, so obviously, like, they lose the ability to jump through a wormhole because, like, the technology on their ship is not really working. And then on top of that, you know, Zarkon just keeps popping out of nowhere and pursuing them. But it was interesting to me that Hagar and Zarkon had different objectives here.
It beautifully just kind of brought to light his obsession. And the fact that everything for him is about the Black Lion and about Voltron. He loses sight of the bigger picture when it comes to Voltron and the Lion. And like, he could easily have won if he just listened to Hagar and shot down the lion.
You're right.
The Black Lion is the one that got away.
It's so true. It's so true.
Maybe another breakup.
But it was also interesting to me that, like,
someone new.
When but like when the Black Lion is under his control, like, it was interesting to me that nobody thought, like, and obviously, like, they wouldn't do it because they'd be abandoning Shiro, but it's like, why don't we just, like, unform Voltron and then the rest of us can focus on, like, saving Shiro from the outside. Right, instead of all of them just being like, man, this sucks, we're just gonna suffer through it and hope we can break free.
Because it seemed like in last season finale, it seemed like it was a lot easier for him to get the Black Lion when it wasn't a part of Voltron.
I think you're
so if you scatter,
So
if you scatter, you make it that much easier for him.
It's like, even if you can get farther alone,
Yeah.
the connection is still stronger.
But I was with you on that because I was like, what are we doing? Just put him back in the castle.
Again, talking about Altean culture, I have a lot of questions regarding backstory here because
I feel like
again,
that should be another drinking game. Is
I
every
have
time
a
you
lot
say
of questions.
I'm sorry. Please
backstory
continue.
is a mainstay on this show.
But,
Oh my God, I'm with you though.
But clearly, he's obsessed with the Black Lion. And at one point, Allura is like, oh, it's me. They're tracking me somehow.
Their logic doesn't make sense.
it makes no sense to me at all.
Given our lack of context, because at one point he was the pilot of the Black Lion. We don't know a ton about what happened in the past, but at one point he and her father were probably friends. So it's like,
Most definitely.
what?
Oh, when we got to figure out which lion Alfor piloted.
Yellow.
Which I thought was
Yeah,
awesome.
the yellow.
Yeah, I assume it
I think
was
we
yellow,
assumed
right?
it was all yellow because we got that flashback of him in yellow armor.
Yes, but that's not something that's been confirmed in the show so far. But it looks like that's most likely what
I thought so
happened.
because of the Koran, like, in the yellow in himself.
Yes. I like it. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Right?
When Karan was like, it's time for me to pilot the Red Lion, and his whole speech to him, it's like, I'm not worthy of being your paladin, but since you've chosen me.
Yes.
I love that Red just had this moment of
Just one lap.
nah.
I got this. Don't worry about it.
Did
Just stay
anyone
here.
watch that cartoon G-Force that was like the Gotcha Man thing? He looked a lot like one of the Gotcha Man characters.
Reminded me a lot of the Great Saiyaman from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that
I
in the
was
chat.
thinking of Zero from Mega Man.
Basically,
with the scar.
the little
All
V
of the
on his
nerdy
helmet made
references.
me think of Beautiful Joe.
Yep.
So really,
Yeah.
any sort of character where they would have had to have yelled henshin at some point.
We're a table full of nerds.
I hadn't
noticed.
We're talking about giant robot lions, for goodness sake.
What killed me watching this is Shiro saying, I forgot how intense Zarkon's connection to the Black Lion is, and my note on that is, and yet the truth evades you.
Dude, Pitch flat out says it.
I know.
And no one listens to Pitch, and Pitch is the genius.
There seems to be a running theme with her. She'll be in the middle of saying
Listen,
something.
I'm gonna state the obvious, which is number one, obviously Zarkon already has a connection to the Black Lion itself. Also, Shiro spent a lot of time in like captivity of the Galra. You don't think maybe like he's personally implanted with a thing? Like
a
come on.
That could
tracking
be
device.
seriously. They never explore that.
That was the theory before
Well,
this season,
because
was that
it's
there was
Shiro.
a device in his head.
Hey, I mean, it's Shiro. I mean, I feel
God
like
bless him.
he's just such an angel baby that even if he did
sweet
have a
summer
tracker
child.
ship, even if he did have a tracker ship, somehow he would be able to turn it off just by being spaced.
No.
Cinnamon roll. Too good, too pure.
He's literally clearly too good for this world, to the point where my older brother
He's too good for every world.
right when season 2 dropped, he's like, I'm getting ready to start. Shiro's a dead man walking. And I was just like, oh.
He has so many death flags, though, as a character.
Every
It's just
time.
like,
So now, let me ask. Let me
A little bit.
So let me ask you this then, Bex. Were you familiar with like Go Lion and Voltron like before you were cast in this show? Like, did you know much about like the story of the old show?
No, I kept myself purposely in the dark.
No, absolutely. Well, and I mean, and the writers that worked on it, like, they very specifically were like, yeah, we didn't really rewatch it. We just like wrote what we thought it was, because it was
And
awesome.
honestly,
And we tried
that's
to make
for the
that
best.
show.
Yeah, and I like that they did it that way. It feels purely
I completely agree. But then, so did you know then that like in the story originally, like Shiro dies?
Yeah, I heard.
Okay.
Because I didn't know,
But there
I'm
have been
sure
like
Tumblr
5
told you.
different iterations.
That's very true.
And
That's
it's
very
really
true.
hard to tell, like, especially if our creators did indeed take anything from any of the iterations. You can't tell.
You never
There's
know,
so
of
many. There's
course.
somewhere there's Shiro. There's somewhere there's what's the
Sven.
thank you. There's somewhere there's Sven. And it's like you have no idea. Like one of them lives, one of them dead. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sven
Sven
went to the hospital.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Well, then it worked out fine because Shiro actually came, like his brother or cousin
He had a
or
twin
something.
brother. It was a twin brother. Anime was
around
big
the
on
galaxy.
having twin brothers
My
to replace.
They totally took that from soap operas.
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, this feels
a
like a
Gundam series
space
did
opera.
it recently.
They did.
Double
Yeah.
O.
Yeah.
Double O.
I'll take it.
But
I'll
so
take
what
the
I want to
space
know
opera.
then
Yeah.
is like because I always question because like I did watch Voltron when I was a kid. Like I always wonder for people who aren't familiar with that story and who are coming fresh into this, like do they see Shiro as being as doomed as I do? You know what I mean?
So interesting.
As someone who came in fresh.
Wow,
Yeah.
I want to see that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Someone in the comment section, please talk about this. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
That was a really good point.
I will say though, I love that they are in no way beholden to everything that
it's-
came
yeah.
before.
God, yeah.
Because then, if they were, we wouldn't get like the only other valid thing apart from Zarkon's connection to the Black Lion that could very well be connecting them is the fact that Keith is clearly, at least in some capacity, connected to the Galra in some way, because he's got that knife, he's having crazy dreams, he doesn't know much about his past, or we don't know much about his past, we
would
don't
like
know.
to know his
but
past.
he's worried enough that he's having dreams that he's in Galra armor. And
Yeah.
so
Without giving any spoilers, I can say that this season really does get to explore.
It does.
Or at the very least,
Yeah.
start to explore.
Yeah, it was great.
The world of Keith
and
the
that
Galra
and they
connection.
wouldn't be able to do that if they're like, well, it has to be just like the old show.
No,
of
yeah,
course,
yeah, no, I agree.
Don't ever make
Well,
anything
really
just like
quickly,
the old
yeah.
version.
I want to thank Tumblr for the Galra Keith fan art. Because they're adorable.
Oh,
it's so cute. Like,
You realize you're gonna get inundated now. You're gonna get
Does he
inundated
have little
now.
kitty
Oh, I
ears?
know.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
He does.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so cute.
Okay.
I
They
like
go
the
full purple.
meshed.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I want it.
Like,
Oh, that's perfect.
All right, so I'm getting some results
crossover.
from the
It's great.
question regarding Shiro. So let's see. Right.
Chat's on like a minute delay.
Okay, great.
Give 'em.
So Playful Pantherist, first of all, says, actually, you can tell there's a bit of all the versions of Voltron in this, which is great. Ali Surette says, as someone who didn't really know Voltron before, no, I don't see him as necessarily doomed. But she did watch Voltron Force, which she was not a fan of.
Was anyone
let's
a
see.
fan of Voltron Force?
Chica Knight says, after the show literally started with him getting captured by aliens, I'd say Dead Man Walking is a big theme for poor Shiro. Yeah. Timberwolf, I see.
He's the champion.
Yeah, Timberwolf, I see Shiro as doomed, even though this.
Hey, we did it at the same time.
Yeah, even though this is my first intro to my first intro to Voltron was once again Voltron Force. Yeah. Yeah, so basically,
Apparently children.
I would say that for small children.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, basically, chat seems to be kind of like split. Oh, Catherine Wynn says Shiro was visually designated to be doomed. The edgy haircut, the scar, the alien arm.
He's like the epitome of tragic anime protagonist
Yes,
with his character
That's
design.
actually pretty true.
So yeah, it seems to me that it's a pretty even split. Actually.
Well, and again,
I was gonna say white hair equals death.
Well, and again, one of the other wonderful things too about the changes in this new series is that Pidge gets to be a girl.
Yes!
Love,
And
love,
not a
love.
Muppet.
I called
That
that
old
like
voice,
2
though.
episodes in, and I was so excited. Like even though I had a feeling that was going to be the case, like as soon as I saw that photograph, I was like, oh no, this is the sister.
So I went either girl or trans.
So when you were initially auditioning for the role, did they tell you like tomboy or straight up boy character, or how did they describe Paige to you when you were auditioning?
They straight up gave me the Pidge is a girl disguising herself as a boy to find her family.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which I thought was incredible.
Yeah.
But
No, I
don't do
agree.
the Milan like I'm making myself
Yeah,
have
no.
a deeper voice.
Yeah, but the thing is, Pidge never read as a like, oh my god, I'm a girly girl who's
Yeah.
dressed as a guy. It was more like, okay, this is what I have to do, and I find it comfortable.
And I don't, and this is
You know?
not spoiling anything about the next episode, but it is something that I do want to address that I thought was really cool that they did on this show. Was so basically the plot of the next episode. I know most of you in the chat have seen it, and again, I'm not spoiling anything. Is they go to a space mall basally.
It's literally called
My
Space
favorite
Hulk.
character shows up.
And there is a moment in that episode.
No, Cultinecker.
Oh yeah.
Cultinecker's my favorite.
But I loved the moment where Pidge has to go to the bathroom, and she's like looking at the boys' room and the girls' room, and she can't decide which one she should go in.
I've been all over Tumblr watching people's discussions on this, being like, they did this on SpongeBob 17 years ago, and then people saying that this is an actually funny, non-offensive trans joke, and I'm like, look, find representation where it fits you, and don't ever take that away from someone else.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful because people who are non-binary, people who are genderqueer, anyone who doesn't fit societal norms, if you're a tomboy even sometimes, you go to the bathroom and you're like, oh god, if I go into the girls' room, will they give me dirty looks? I don't want to do that. But if I go into the boys' room, it's uncomfortable either. And so it's an actual valid concern for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to see
I was gonna say, and to me, even though yes, it was a visual
I
gag, but it
absolutely
was
read it as an alien gender.
But it was, but it was in good.
But it
But it was
works either
exactly.
way.
It worked, and it was in good taste, and it is a real thing that happens. I mean, one of my best friends, she is basically straight. She's married to a man, but like she's never felt really girly, you know what I mean? And so like for her, it was like when she saw the character of Sailor Uranus and Sailor Moon, like that was like life-changing for her, because she's like, oh, here's this girl who is a girl, but like she's not girly, but like she's still part of this like awesome girl team, and so that's a really important thing, I think, and I thought that was a really lovely moment.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I want to say just to anybody who feels like it's one way or the other way, it is allowed to be both, and I think it's the worst thing in the world if you say that it has to be your way and you're taking representation away from someone else. Let them have something that they connect to.
Yes,
and everybody in the chat definitely agrees.
Yes.
Lots of applauding. Yeah. So, but I am also with you on that, Katie, where I was like, oh, it's probably like a joke of like, I don't know what kind of alien bathroom it is, but I love that we can get
How
both
do
worlds.
these
And I love
work?
that, like, when Keith, I can't, but like Keith walks out of one later.
next week.
Doesn't give a
Come back
crap.
next
But again, talking about
We have
Keith and
15 minutes left.
Oh, I'm sorry.
no,
Wrong episode.
don't be silly.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it.
Oh, you.
How dare you offer valid
But
opinions? Oh my god.
talking about Keith and talking about like kind of people not necessarily feeling like they fit in. We get a very interesting discussion between him and the princess when they essentially run off together, because like he's having a lot of these feelings and anxieties about what he fears that he is, and she's like, "Yep, the Galra are awful
She's just
garbage
confirming
people."
everything he's afraid of.
Despite any evidence to the
like the
contrary,
worst feeling
they're all
ever.
terrible.
Well, and I think it also just I think it's also very strong writing from a character perspective in regards to Allura, because basically, like, even though she is a good person, everyone has their prejudices. Of course.
Well, and the Galra Empire essentially committed genocide on the race. There are 2 of them.
They
left.
destroyed her planet. Again, we don't know what the inciting incident was that caused original Team Voltron to break up. Thank you, Mark, for bringing up the dumpster fire. It was that Spencer Harris that did that for us?
I don't remember.
Oh, it's wonderful.
beautiful.
But,
I really do enjoy that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Want it on a shirt?
No, it
Yes, I was about
was
to say that.
Charlie B.
Well, thank you, Charlie. That was
yeah.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But so yeah, but it's also insanely personal. She's been asleep for 10,000 years, but for her, it probably only feels like it's been a month.
And that comment that she makes is like they've had 10,000 years to overthrow him, and it's like it's not that easy, especially having to work from the inside.
Yeah.
For trying to take down a genocidal maniac.
Yeah.
Who has lived for 10,000 years, which, as far as we can tell from the reaction to that, is horrifyingly long lived for a Galra, and has crazy black magic on his side.
Yeah.
Like, guys, we're playing on hard mode.
It's like logic or not. Prejudice doesn't really bow down to logic. So, and I agree with you. I think it's really strong character writing and everything to have Allura like that.
Listen, the chat, I will tell you one thing. They do not ship Keith and Allura at all. They're like, they are best friends.
Nobody ships Allura.
They have a bromance. That's it.
Totally romance.
Well, again, that's what the old show did. So if this show went that way, it'd be very predictable.
I'm delighted that they're not. Though I did, and it was mentioned in the chat as well. I think it was funny when they ran off together in the night, and Lance was like, "Do you think they're like sitting in the Yeah, and then when they came back,
that metaphor's lost.
and then when they came back, and Keith was in the Red Lion with Allura, and he's like, "Yeah, we're together," and he's like, "You're together, together."
Lance, stop.
I have that reaction a lot. Stop.
Who doesn't? What I loved about this, just the bit with they took
What's happening?
It's set out of love.
They took the part that had the fuel line still on it. And I love that Chekhov's gun finally came into play.
Yeah.
And the thing exploded because we had that. And it could work, it could work, or it could explode. And you're like, oh yeah, we had that. Oh shoot, it's actually exploding now.
Once, that's it.
And again, this is another example of things like getting by the skin of their teeth. Like that could have in other shows, like that would have been the way they get back. But here, having that explode and then having them like barely survive the explosion and have to like use his jetpack to like find their way
and have the Red Lion go, well, I'm bonding with you. And totally get down there.
Oh my god, I think we've hit everything on the list. You just said it.
You did that on purpose.
I did that on purpose.
You did.
Son of a
Drink.
Hopefully there are no hospital visits tonight from that.
But again, it's a wonderful thing from a dramatic perspective because now, like, he has to hold close to somebody who was literally just like tearing him down without knowing it.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, I legitimately had a moment when they first got ejected from the pod when it blew up. I was like, oh, it's gravity. This is
I was thinking The Martian. Like I was in that point. I was like,
AKA movies that like make you terrified of space.
Yeah, the POV shot from the visor. I love when they do. They've done visor shots in this season, and I love that.
They're always
I
good.
love getting to see how the inside of the helmet works. Just details.
They're really good at those.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
So we need to basically zoom through the Ark of Taujeer because we kind of.
Can I say just like how kind of offended I would be if I was a member of Team Voltron and they were like, the people I came to save were like, I'd feel better if there were 5 of you.
Shiro handled that like a champ, though.
Also, the
duly noted. So much sass underlined.
Those and those aliens. It was I thought it was so funny that they like brought back that very like 80s voice sound. So basically, they sounded like
Jim
that was Jim
Cummings.
Cummings too.
I love that.
but they sounded like 80s sound wave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Noticed that they were huge and had little teeny hands.
Little T-Rex hands. But I love how like
Someone photoshopped Donald Trump on that.
I wanted to say something. I was sitting here dying, and I'm like, I can't. No, you can't. I can.
This is a safe space.
shame.
This is a safe
Bex,
zone.
have you seen my shirt? I have no shame.
Also, yes, I want that shirt.
I need that.
Kip Creations, KIPP Creations.
Doing
on
it. That's
Instagram
amazing.
and Twitter.
Doing it.
So you're tweeting about it.
All right, yeah. I just ordered
I need that
myself
in my
like
life.
3 feminist shirts from Etsy, including the one that says a girl has no president. So
Hey. That's a good
Amazing.
one.
I like that.
I saw Maisie Williams wearing it on Twitter. I had to get it.
I feel you on that. Totally.
A friend of mine came to the studio wearing a Punch More Nazi shirt. So
Yes! kind of a life goal of mine. I know that's horrible because it's like putting myself in danger, but I don't care. I want to punch a Nazi.
I'll help you. I volunteer as
We a
tribute.
team. We a team.
Yeah.
Can I, while I'm in a Pidge costume, can I punch a Nazi?
Yeah, of course.
Do.
I
What a
would
weird
say if
dream.
you didn't, all of your fans would be disappointed.
Yeah, that's true.
Just find somebody cosplaying Man in the High Castle at Comic-Con and you'll be fine.
Oh, okay, let's be nice now.
Well, don't hurt
For
anyone.
permission
Okay, wait,
and
back to
stage
Voltron.
the shot.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway.
I forgot what my thought was.
But I will say that, like,
No, it's
something,
okay. Not your
you
fault.
mentioned it while they were flying through space. It was, like, beautiful. One of my favorite shots of the entire series is in this second episode, and that's the scene where they're cutting the side of the ship while the lion is rotating, while the camera is rotating. It was absolutely gorgeous.
My cousin decided that he wanted to do the sounds for the jaw blades, and he kept going, "Pachoo!" I'm like, you sound like us in season 1.
Yes, I know. It's bam, bam, bam.
Hi, Zach. I hope you're watching.
Aww.
He's not.
Oh my word.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you have CGI in a 2D show, and sometimes it works and they integrate it really well, and sometimes it really sticks out. This worked. Like
This
some of
always
these shots,
works.
I could be like, yeah, that's definitely
does.
CGI,
Yeah, it
but oh dang.
I like too that in the past few episodes we see Galra who are on the outskirts of the Empire, who have essentially been cast away from the hub, and they're like, I'm gonna get back in there, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna prove my worth.
I want to be in the room where it happens.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it is. It's really interesting to see sort of like the Galra, which are obviously this very like militaristic society, and so basically from their point of view, it's like if they've been
Like the Fire Nation.
yeah, exactly. so they've been cast to the outside of it, and all they can do from their perspective to get it back is like, you know, super alpha
Their thankless
macho
job,
feats,
for
and
real.
yeah.
They have to restore their honor.
Yeah.
Another shot.
Murdoch was ready to back out of this, like, I have supplies for you.
Oh my
You know,
god! I want to see some
I
like.
love that. To die for the Galra is the greatest honor. Prepare my escape.
Yes, that made me so happy.
It was a Mummy Returns moment.
Yes.
You two must sacrifice yourself.
I was totally having a Benny moment. I was like, this is amazing. Also, this is cursed. That is cursed. It was beautiful.
What's it with you and curses?
But I think the only thing about this episode that kind of irked me a little bit is this should have been Hunk's special thing.
Yeah.
Because we unlocked the Yellow Lion's power. It was a big deal, and then it really wasn't a big deal.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was
I
about
have to agree
Keith,
with you
and
on
it was
that.
about his connection.
Well, and
his
on top of that
insecurity.
too, it's
Honestly,
like the
this season is about Keith.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, you know, the people that you were seeing kind of like make a huge impact on the planet immediately was the combination of using the Green Lion and the Blue Lion's power to like repair the cracks so that the Yellow Lion's power had time to manifest, basically. But
Which
yeah, there was not enough.
He's so cute though when he's describing it. He's
I
like, I got these
know.
little claws.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like first season when his face turns into a cat.
And I will say that was in fact Hunk's idea, and I like that they the idea of, you know, sewing up the planet with the vines basically, and then using the ice to freeze it. And I like that Hunk is portrayed as being a very like intelligent character,
Hunk, you
not
gassy genius.
yeah, like not from a he's not like book smart like Pidge is. Like he's not.
I would argue that he is. He made an algorithm.
He's got his moments. He's book smart, and he's a little less street smart.
I was gonna say he's
and
like
they balance in
it
like
does,
a beautiful
and
way.
I think that, and I like that he is, because, you know, like obviously like he has sort of like he's like very in tune with.
Well, he's a big
the
teddy
earth
bear.
and,
Yeah.
he's very in tune with the earth, and his, you know, a very empathetic and compassionate character, and I just really.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, I like that you know, we see the strengths of that character, and in such a way that, like, you know, Pidge or Lance would have never thought of the idea that he came up with.
I love
Yeah,
that
and
we
I see a lot-
evade the big dumb guy trope.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's so smart.
Yeah, especially because most of the time, at least I know that we haven't like gone through like the majority of the season, but the fact that most of the time with Hunk, recently we haven't really gotten enough of his smartness. Because remember we talked about it from first season, that he can just make algorithms in his head like this, and so
And he can just identify the Fraunhofer
yeah,
line.
exactly.
No
So
big deal.
He built a tracker for an alien element in a cave with a box of scraps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like we haven't had that in a while, so it was nice to see him being, I mean, not saying that he's useful, but you know what I mean? Like,
But he's
Yeah,
like,
no, I get it.
here's this
Highlighting.
insanely smart,
Oh, sorry.
basically diagram that I created. Also, have some cookies while you read it
I know.
and analyze it.
it's perfect. And
I mean, he's the man everyone wants to bring home to mother.
Heck yeah.
No kidding.
Everyone.
Corinne Yee says, Hunk the Hufflepuff. And
He's the
Let's be
Hunklepuff.
real. I have absolutely marked Pidge as Slytherin for whatever that's worth.
Because it's the best house.
Exactly.
Wait,
You're talking to the resident
so I don't know how
Gryffindor.
that works.
No, Lance is Gryffindor.
Yeah, okay.
We've got
Lance
two
is
Slytherins at the
Gryffindor.
table.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure Shiro is also Hufflepuff.
I'll take it.
You know what?
I will
You
accept
could-
that.
I would sort him into Hufflepuff for sure.
Allura's Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
I would actually also put Koran as Ravenclaw.
Yeah,
In that weird
Oh,
sort
totally.
of way.
Oh yeah.
Who haven't we
But
seen?
he's like a Luna Lovegood
Keith.
Ravenclaw, where he could totally also be somewhere else.
Who's Keith fall under?
Slytherin.
Yeah, that's my inclination too. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to claim my favorite character on the show for my own house, but like,
Just because he might
are
be
you
part
Red Lion?
Gara doesn't
Are
mean
you-
he's evil.
No, it's just because he's emo.
That was my first thing.
oh my god, that scene where
Pidge is
first episode where Pidge was reenacting everybody. Oh my god,
That mustache.
Crazy words. It's really accurate too.
yeah.
we have been asked to return to talking
Okay,
about the
Is
episodes.
that what happens to you, just out of curiosity, if you happen to be in the recording studio by yourself? Is that just what happens? Because you guys normally record as a cast, right?
Yeah, whenever we can, whenever
Yeah.
everyone's around, as many people as possible. If they're in town, just thrown into the booth. It's amazing. I love it. They're the best people.
Aww.
I love it.
Don't tell them I said that.
No.
Not a
It'll
word
go to
here.
their head.
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Safe
Next
space.
time we have someone in the studio, we will definitely tell them. Yeah, Bex said you suck. I don't know.
Yeah.
We totally don't have a video backing that up.
No.
She was
Saying
like, Josh,
the exact
who?
opposite.
Alternative facts, guys.
Too real.
Listen, we
I love you so
And that's how the Galra Empire was built. Fires for days.
okay.
Do we have any final thoughts about these episodes? Because we're hitting about that point.
Yeah, it was a great.
Do we have a heart out, engineer?
It was
Yeah.
a really nice. The two episodes went very nicely together. Again, I agree with Megan. Everything you were saying about this fitting the Netflix format extremely well. Really, really enjoyed that scene in particular between Keith and Allura when they were in the escape pod, where we got to see Keith struggling with his identity and Allura being like, the Galra, the worst. And it's like, whoa, girl, like maybe have a slightly open mind.
So weird.
Like I said, I keep wondering whether that's about the Galra as an entire race or about the personal betrayal of a former family friend destroying their planet.
Oh, I'm
Yes,
gonna
to
go
both.
with absolutely the latter.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
go with both.
yeah.
Little of column A, little of column B.
Yep.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
But yeah, no, these episodes were really good. Again, just constantly keeping the stakes really, really high. And I feel like we're rewarded with keeping up with that level of tension with the next episode.
Yeah, there's some really good rise and fall for these. I love that we have slow development, that we can pick up from previous episodes, and that we can plant the seeds of something that won't come about until 8 episodes down the line. And it's like, oh yeah, I remember that character. Oh yeah, I remember this. Oh wow, that thing that they were hinting at just exploded. Or hey, remember that thing that literally happened 12 episodes ago?
Yeah.
Here's the payoff.
And like they mention stuff just like a line in passing in season 1, and it pays off in an entire episode in season 2.
Yeah.
That's really cool to me.
Yeah.
The fact that they
Glorious.
can do that.
Also, space is weird. There's a planet where it loses its outer layer and the next layer is acid. Why?
And then the
Space?
acid
Why?
eventually evaporates, and then it becomes a new. I did like that it wasn't like, oh no, what are we gonna do? It's no, we planned for this eventuality. We know how this works.
They just
it was an
messed us up.
outside party that came in and screwed
We were
us
gonna
up.
get out of Dodge.
We were gonna be fine, and then they just decided to screw us for absolutely no
okay?
reason.
My brain hurts so much.
What'd you do?
No, just my brain hurts. It's just there's so much. This universe is just
Space is overwhelming and terrifying.
Can you imagine getting like 11 seasons of this?
I'd be happy
I
with
would be
it.
happy, but at the same time, you would kill me.
Aren't you a Supernatural fan?
No, shut up. Like, I want to talk about it, okay? I'm already still
9,000
wounded.
seasons of Supernatural.
And I feel like anyone who grew up with DBZ or Sailor Moon or One Piece or any long-running shonen except Sailor
do
Moon.
not put Sailor Moon in the same category as Dragon Ball Z and One Piece in terms of number of episodes. Sailor Moon is nowhere close.
If it's over 52, it's a lot.
No, correct, but I
There's
understand what you mean.
There's a difference between like a series with 100 episodes, which is considered a success,
Naruto, I just
and
thought of
like
that.
A series with 800
and a series with 800, which is considered
Insanity.
something.
Did Naruto end yet?
No.
No.
Okay.
There was a
rebooted it.
line.
Thank you.
They rebooted it.
Oh my god.
Inuyasha ended because they ran out of patience.
Anyway.
Anyway. Final thoughts on these episodes.
I liked them.
Good final thoughts.
She's not biased at all, guys.
I do have to agree with you about the hunk thing, where it felt like it should have been his episode.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens to him a couple times, where it's like he has this big, like, epic suit upgrade, like in the first season too, with the multiple lasers, and it's kind of overshadowed by something that happens next.
Yeah.
You know,
But I do want to remind people that the same thing happened with Keith last season, where everyone was complaining that no one got to see Keith, and then he's this season.
yeah.
So if you don't see enough of your favorite character this season, you're gonna see
Wait a
that.
minute.
Yeah, because there's
Stick around. There's more,
I
hopefully.
mean, just given the way this one is going, and where season one went, season one felt a lot like Pidge's season, because it's like we have this whole story about her hiding her identity and her quest for finding her family and learning how to be a part of a team and kind of adopt this group of people as her new family. But then we also have, and we've got that other stuff in the background. Here we're getting hints that the remainder of the season is going to focus a lot on Keith and his identity.
Let's face it, when we get to the Shiro season, we're all going to be wrecked.
So season 3 could be Hunk's season.
No,
we don't know.
saying. I'm
I'd
like,
be
are we
down.
gonna get like 5 seasons for?
And I think that
for all
it's
lions?
also like, you can tell in this season that even though it's a Keith season, there are still going to be like episodes that focus on each of the other characters
course.
and
Oh,
some
for
of the
sure.
lore that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have. And I think that is going to continue throughout the entire series. That's just something that they do really well, is they share time.
Yeah.
I also think, relating to Hunk being a major part of the show, and this isn't just bias for me talking, but
Don't
he's
say.
also the type of person that would share how he feels pretty bluntly.
Totally.
And he'll get to a point where he'll be like, guys, I had all of this personal growth, and everybody was focusing on Keith. I think he would bring that up.
That's
correct.
Come on.
Yeah.
I got this cool
Fair.
magical girl transformation sequence and no one noticed.
I would love to see that, by the way.
Yeah.
iTunes we
It was so many.
Yes, we need
Yeah, we
to
have like
go.
6.
We're gonna
There's a
hit
lot.
on. We're gonna
We have
talk about
6?
iTunes, guys.
Sorry.
What's happening?
Thank you so much for everyone who has gone onto iTunes, who has subscribed to the podcast, who has rated us 5 stars, who has left a review. When you do that, our producers do go on and check those reviews, and they see that people like our Voltron after show, decide to keep it around for another season, and that keeps us on the air as an after show.
It's true.
Additionally,
Thank you,
when you
disembodied
leave
voice of Hunk.
when you leave reviews, when you leave ratings, they put us higher on the iTunes ratings chart, so we show up more quickly in search terms. I am losing all of my words tonight, y'all. I have the best words.
We're like number 2 if you search for Voltron.
Yeah, no,
right now.
we
So
are.
Pretty great.
Keep it up.
I'm gonna be number 1.
We want to be number
And of
one.
course, if you leave a
number
review,
one
we
in my
give you a
heart.
shout out on the show.
Yeah,
Who do we have?
so many. The last show was on January 26th, so I'm guessing the one that was published on January 26th wasn't actually in the
no,
feed
it was
yet.
probably after.
So Chat Dad, they're all 5 stars. One of the few times the remake is better. Dandy Liger, thanks for making me wash my dishes. Caliejo, time for Voltron! Exclamation points. X do not play X. Love this podcast. First time from Tumbling Block. ABTV's animation podcasts are the best. G_off 2886. So thank you guys. We don't have time to read all of them because they're long and wonderful. One thing I do want to address, if you are not subscribed to this podcast, you may notice that you do not see episode 1 of this season in your iTunes feed. If you are subscribed, you got it. It's no problem. I don't know why this is. RSS feeds are weird. I have had this happen with podcasts before where if you're not subscribed, for some reason, one of the episodes just disappears from the iTunes store. So subscribe to the podcast is what I'm saying.
Also, if you leave a review in an iTunes store, that is not the American iTunes Store. We have trouble finding it. You have to change your iTunes settings. It's all sorts of crazy. So if you do that, or if you leave a review in Google Play's podcast feature, please screen cap it and put it in the Twitter hashtag ABTVVoltron. We still want to see those. We will read them out on the show, and we really super appreciate them.
Yay.
Yep.
And we're getting played off.
Yep, we are.
I can second. I'm like, where is that coming from?
That's from God.
There's a band that's hanging out in the hall.
It's correct.
Yeah, that
Bex,
makes
thank
sense.
you so
So
much
cute.
for coming in. Do you have any projects that you're working on that you can talk about?
There's this, I don't know if you guys have heard about it. It's this show on Netflix. It's animated. It's called Voltron.
Any other
Sounds weird.
It is.
I don't know, man.
It's
I don't know if
awesome.
that's my cup of tea.
Giant robots.
Yeah, right now that's about it. Waiting. Scream got picked up for a season 3. Got 6 episodes. Waiting to kind of get started on that.
You're super
Can you tell she's a fan?
I had no idea.
Oh, Scream is so
And where
great.
can the people go online if they want to keep up with you?
Oh God, I have not made it easy for anyone. I don't have just like one name for all of them. So like on Twitter, it's iBexWebex. On Instagram, it's Bex_TK. I don't know. I'll tweet something or put something on Instagram. Just go to one of those. You'll find the rest.
Well, thanks again. It's been a blast.
Yeah,
thank
you're
you.
awesome.
Thank you guys for having me. I had a
Always
blast.
come back. Anytime.
Emma,
Just come
where
back.
can the people find you?
At my name, Emma Fyffe, EMMAFYFFE. If you guys like animated things, you should check out my Sailor Moon podcast. It is called Love and Justice. If you search for Sailor Moon in the iTunes Store, it is also the second resulting podcast. Also, if you guys like space, you should watch Pencils and Parsecs, which is a show that I do every
that's
Friday night
awesome.
on Hyper RPG. We stream live at 9 o'clock p.m. on twitch.tv/Hyper RPG. It is a Star Wars RPG, and
You're a
it's
nerd.
awesome.
Breathe.
I'm so sorry. You can find my breathless butt on A-Torres890. I apologize for all the Twitter, Instagram stuff about my wedding. That is what it's going to be. for
Never
the next one.
apologize.
Yes.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
She has
so-
the most beautiful stuff picked out.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
we
great.
can talk about it later. But yes, you can follow me there. I will be also, hopefully because wedding stuff is starting to die down a little bit, I will get it back on Twitch because I'm going to be playing Mass Effect, the entire series, for the first time. So, yeah. So I was
Romance Garrus.
like, I'm excited. I'm just going to do all the things.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Femshep.
Always. Sorry, continue. Sorry.
All right. I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin. I am also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, and I write articles for the Movie Chick. That's Chick with 2Ks. Be sure to check those out. Be sure to also check out the Shadow Remastered, which is a fan-made revival, kind of the Shadow that I'm in. If you want to hear me try to act, I'll just sink under the table now. So enjoy that. Bye.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on all of the social medias and YouTube at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. If you like reaction videos, they live on that YouTube. Arrow is back. It's on Wednesdays. Star Wars Rebels doesn't come back for a couple weeks. That's on Sundays. And the Ruby season finale is next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Also, I have become something of a regular on Geek and Sundry's Gather Your Party. So that's Friday at 6:30 p.m. Tune in to watch us do stupid stuff. It's a
Woo!
video games. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.